Why? It's probably a question you're straight away when you see this image, you're probably wondering, why do I have an image of a lady putting makeup on her face? Probably the thought associated with that is that I'm crazy. People have told me that, but I'm not. It's actually I can actually relate it to social media and my own experiences. I remember this lady once came up to me, it was about 6 months ago, and she said, "Harry, why do you use social media? I thought you were an intelligent young man. You're using this form of communication. You know, your whole generation is stuffing up what was good communication. It's stupid, it's silly." And I felt like just looking at her and saying, "Listen, you stupid cow." But I didn't because I'm a responsible Collingwood footballer. But what I did say to her was that I looked at her and I realised she was wearing a lot of makeup. Like a lot. She actually looked like a clown. So I looked at her and I said, this is how I responded. I said, "You wear makeup, don't you?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, depending on how you apply the makeup, it's either a positive or a negative." I said, social media is no different. Depending on how you apply social media, it can be a positive or a negative. She paused and she pondered. She was probably thinking, how did I apply my makeup? Anyway, so that's how I've come to use social media, because I believe that it can be used in a positive, although people have used it in negative ways. I've been extremely fortunate. As you all know, my name is Harry O'Brien, and yes, I play football for the Collingwood Football Club. However, football does not define who I am, and it doesn't define where I'm headed. I've been extremely fortunate that from a young age, I've been able to recognise what my life's purpose is. And what my life's purpose is simple. It's very simple. It's being able to share my ideas with a greater audience, be able to share my ideas with a critical mass. Now, with that understanding, I've also understood that there are many ways, many mediums that you can use in order for myself to live out in my life's purpose. See, I can go on radio. That's a great way. I can write books, I can write in the paper, I can use TV. All of these are effective ways of sharing your ideas, which is in line with my life's purpose. However, social media is the only medium where there's no filter. There's no filter. If someone wants to hear about what you have to say or what you stand for, then they can get the essence of it through social media. So social media it empowers whoever uses it. It's actually power. It's power to the people. It's simple. I had to add that in. In my short time using social media, and has been a very short time and a very short journey thus far. I must add, I'm going to be speaking to you about things. I'm certainly not an expert. I'm not going to speak to you about the technical side of things. I'm just simply going to share with you some of a bit of my journey, how I got started, why I got started. Questions like this which started me off on my journey and which aligned me to my life's purpose. So throughout my presentation, my brief presentation, I'll be touching on 3 key questions which I ask myself, which are simply why, what, and how. These are the 3 questions which got me started and got me used to the idea that, yes, social media is for me. So I asked myself, why? Why should I use social media? What should I talk about? And how can I do it? These are 3 vital things that anyone should ask themselves, particularly athletes should ask themselves. So without further ado, we get to the first question, which is why. So that's the question we should always ask. Why? Why should you be doing something? That's the first question I asked myself in terms of social media. You see, 2 years ago, I had a social media prejudice. I was prejudiced against Facebook. My friends, I came from Perth, Western Australia, and living here in Melbourne, obviously. My friends would call me up in Perth and say, "Harry, I can't find you on Facebook. What's your name under?" And I'd say, what are you talking about? Oh, Facebook? As if I want to be poked and play mob wars and be tagged in photos. Why do I want to engage in this form of communication? It's just stupid. You've got a phone. You can text me. You can call me. Yes, I use email. Correspond with me in that way. I wouldn't have a bar of social media. I thought it was stupid. But I realised upon reflection how stupid I was when I was dismissing social media. because upon reflection, I realized that by dismissing social media, by denying social media, you're actually denying a multitude. You see, it's not about whether or not you think it's good or it's bad. The real issue, if you deny social media, is you're denying a large number of people. And for someone whose life's purpose, as I mentioned, is sharing their ideas with the critical mass, that's a stupid thing. So I came to that realization that it's extremely stupid. It's really stupid for me to be denying social media. You know, I believe that most things can be turned into most things in this world can be turned from negative to positive. You know, I heard a lot of negative stories about social media. I heard stories, you know, you've all heard what happened in the Logies. You heard all of the conjecture that surrounded social media. So these were things which put my defences up. I wanted to protect myself from this. Didn't even want to be a part of it. But my belief has always been that anything negative can be turned into a positive as long as you apply it in the right manner. So I asked myself again, well, why should I be a part of social media? Now that I came to the realisation that I was actually being foolish in denying social media, I thought, well, why should I use social media? And the reason why I should use social media is because I've got something to talk about. I put value in what my ideas and what I have to share with the world. So that's why I should use social media. I remember before I even got a Facebook profile, which I'll explain later, the Collingwood Football Club, who, for all of you that know, Collingwood is the most renowned sporting club in Australia, and Jonathan Bernard, who's here today, the social media or the website guru at Collingwood, he asked me to contribute to the website. He said you can have your own blog, you can do it bi-weekly. It's not much of a commitment. You can just share your ideas in that way. So I started I contributed to the website in the form of a thing called Harry's World, which it later develops, which I'll explain later. But it was simply me just sharing my ideas with what happened in the week, giving insights into football. And I got extremely positive feedback. In fact, I got two of my pieces that I wrote for the website were put into The Age unedited, which for me is a great achievement. I think you should all give that. No, I'm joking. Yeah, so I thought, so they gave me the opportunity. The Collingwood Football Club gave me the opportunity, and then things started to, I got so much positive feedback from people that have, directly and indirectly, that had read my pieces on the website, because Collingwood's got the largest Twitter following. It's got almost 40,000 fans on Facebook. It's got the most number of members, and things just started the light bulb went off in my head, and thought, gee, I can use that. I can leverage off that. I'm a part of that. So why shouldn't I be? Another thing that got me thinking as well, why should I be using social media, is that I follow the trends in the United States and Europe. This gave me great comfort because I don't have to lay the path. The path's already there. You look at any trend. You look at music. You look at fashion. You look at arts. You'll see that Australia there's a lag. We're down under. There's a lag. We're so separated, and we will follow. So I got comfort in that. I know that this will catch on in Australia, even though there's not too many people doing it, or there weren't too many people doing it then. I thought, look at the States. The people will follow. They're doing it effectively in the United States and in Europe, athletes using their profile, using social media to affect positive change, or to manipulate, not even manipulate, but to be able to use the momentum of the interest into whichever area they want. Also look to politicians, musicians, actors. If it's good enough for Barack Obama, if it's good enough for Julia Gillard, then it's good enough for me. So I thought, with all those questions answered, I asked myself the last why question, which is, why not? Why not use social media? That's something I thought to myself.